Having depression to me is like having a death sentence. Not the kind where you know that you have 10 days to live, but the kind where every day when I wake up, I don't know if I have the energy to get through the day. I don't know how much longer I'll be able to handle and take the pain. And for most of my adult life, I felt like I've really only dealt with my depression in two ways. One, either just get on with it, find a way to deal with it, or number two, eventually give up and contribute to the growing number of people dying by suicide. And I know there's a third option, and that third option is to seek help, go to therapy, open up and talk to my family and friends, tell them how I'm feeling, tell them about the pain that's inside of me. But what scares me is that life isn't going to get easier. I know that. There are things that I still want to achieve and still have in my life. Things like having a family, having a home, having a house with my girlfriend. Even in today's economy where it's not going to get any easier and there's a big oil crisis going on at the moment. And I still have aspirations and goals for my career as a musician and writer and mental health advocate. But I'm not even sure if I'll live long enough to be able to achieve a quarter of those things, a fraction of those things, because right now I can barely get through a day and handle the dark thoughts, the negative thoughts, the pain that my depression has caused me. To be honest, I haven't done myself any favors by not opening up and repressing these thoughts. It's only really been in the last 12 or so months where I've found ways to open up. Before that, I was a master at hiding my pain, keeping my depression a secret from everyone close to me. I'd become so accustomed to saying, I'm fine, I'm okay, all good, anytime someone asked me how I'm doing. Even though inside I'm screaming in pain, I just didn't know how to say it. I physically couldn't get the words out. I didn't know how to say, I'm not doing okay. That muscle didn't exist in me. I felt so ashamed about my depression, and a lot of it has to do with growing up in a world where men don't talk. Men don't show their vulnerability. The men closest to me in my life, my dad, my uncle, mates of mine, my teachers, anytime I came to them and said, I'm not doing okay, I'm struggling with something, often they'd say, just get on with it, or you're just going to have to find a way. They'd even say things like, I don't know how to deal with that. You just got to be strong and keep going no matter what. I don't blame them for that, because that's just the way the world was 15 or 20 years ago. So throughout high school and my early 20s, I was still able to get through things and get through daily tasks. I was still able to build a career as a guitar teacher. I was still able to open up a school, go to university, and spend time with family and friends. As I did all those things, I had this mask on. I'd try to do everything with a smile. I'd try my best to make sure that no matter what, I looked fine. I looked happy. And as good as I got at doing this, eventually it all became too much, because for every day I wore this mask, the more I bottled up, the more I repressed. Once I got home and closed that door from the outside world, that's when I'd crack. I'd break down. I'd have panic attacks. Often this would happen in the early hours of the morning at 3 or 4 a.m. When I was living on my own, I'd be pacing up and down the apartment, screaming, shouting, telling myself, I'm worthless, I'm hopeless, my life is not worth living for. And I'd have these voices in my head. They were sort of different versions of my own voice. One would say how pathetic you are, how weak you are for crying and breaking down. Another one would remind me of all the mistakes that I made that day. And then the third one kind of worked together with the second one by goading me into feeling guilty for past mistakes and past failures from my life, making me believe that I was guilty for things that I didn't know I was guilty for. When I moved in with my girlfriend, I would do my best to quietly slither my way into the lounge room, and if I was going to break down and cry, I would do it quietly so she wouldn't know and I wouldn't wake her up. The irony was, I thought hiding my pain would help me get through each day, help me achieve my goals and aspirations, do little daily tasks like getting up in the morning, brushing my teeth, making my coffee. But all it did was suck all the energy out of me, take away any hope I had for living a good life and feeling happy. And even for my girlfriend, who was so desperate to help me and so wanted to help me, she started asking me if I was okay less and less, because she thought I was just really good at handling the pain, handling the pressure. She thought I was really good at keeping on. It was this relentless spiral that eventually led to 2 seizures, a complete breakdown, and 2 years of constant suicidal thoughts, where every day I'd wake up and think, what's the point? And I'd start thinking about, what if I just gave up? What if I just ended it all now? It wasn't that I wanted to die. I just wanted the pain to stop. Each day I'd think, is today going to be my last day, because I don't know if I can handle it anymore. I so wish I didn't do that to my girlfriend, to my family and friends. I was lying to myself. I was lying to them. So, since the start of this year, 2026, I've been trying my best to find ways to open up, to find a way to get these thoughts out of me so they don't eat me up inside. I started seeking therapy regularly, going to my GP regularly. I'm now taking medication, trying different medications to help stabilize my mood, help me get to sleep, and just try to get through a day and not be in such pain at the end of it. Just be okay. I've also been writing newsletters and making videos like this, which have helped me get the words out. And, after a while, I have been able to tell people slowly but surely, whenever they ask me if I'm okay, I can say, no, I'm not doing okay. I've been struggling a little bit. Things aren't that great. The funny thing is, I find it so much easier to write a 2,500 word newsletter or make a video like this sharing my pain. But I can tell you right now, there is nothing more powerful than having an in-person conversation, especially with someone who I know who loves me and cares so much about me. I guess once you have that conversation with someone, it's out there in the open. There's no going back. The damn war is broken. And even if the person I'm talking to, whether it's my girlfriend, a mate of mine, my family, even if they don't quite understand what I'm going through, they always say at the end, I'm here for you. I don't understand what you're going through, but let me know whatever I can do to help you. Please tell me. In no way has that taken away my depression or cured my depression. I still have those voices in my head swirling, echoing in my head every single day. I still wake up with the thought of just wanting to give up. But knowing that I have my family and friends who are there, who are willing to help me and listen to me, that gives me the confidence to know that I will be okay. And it just makes it a little bit easier to tell them that I'm struggling, that if I'm having a hard time, if I'm thinking about taking my life, I can tell them, and they're not going to judge me. They're not going to ridicule me or shame me. They're going to listen to me and say, it's okay. Let's find a way to get through it together. So if you've made it all the way to this part of the video, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for sticking around. And I want to leave a message for you here. It is always easier said than done when someone tells you, you got to find a way to talk about it. You can't repress it. You got to open up. I know how that feels. I've had plenty of people over the last decade tell me to open up, to talk about it. It's a simple solution, right? Doesn't make it easier. Unfortunately for me, it took for something very serious and something that could have been life-threatening to force me to open up, to force me to let my guard down, to finally find the courage and the strength and maybe the energy to start talking about why I was feeling these things and just tell people that I'm not okay. I have depression. Sometimes I think about taking my life. But when I started doing that, each day, each time I did, it didn't necessarily get easier, but it would take so much weight off me. I felt like I could breathe again. Each time I did tell someone, whether it was my girlfriend, friends, or family, I felt like there was one extra person who I knew loved me. If you can, start with just saying you're not okay and leave it there. You don't have to go into detail. You don't have to go into the deep, dark thoughts just yet. Maybe start with telling someone you trust you're not okay. Whether it's your partner, your parents, uncle, auntie, colleague. There will be someone there. And once you tell that one person, that first person, it makes it a little bit easier to tell that second person. And maybe that's all you need. I only have 3 or 4 people in my inner circle who I talk to. And at the moment, it's working for me. Once you do, you might find that hope starts coming back in your life. You start getting that confidence, regaining that willpower to get through every day. And you can keep those thoughts at bay. You might even be able to shut them up for a while. Your depression's not going to go away. It's not going to be magically cured, but you might feel like things will be okay. And that's a very powerful thought. It's a very powerful feeling. So thank you so much guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you found this video useful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos in the future where I'll be sharing my mental health journey, not just as a musician, but in life in general. And please, if you know someone, whether it's a family friend or cousin or colleague, whoever, who's struggling, please send this video to them. It may not be a huge difference, but it might just give them a little bit of hope, a little bit of comfort, and a little bit of reassurance to know that they're not alone. So please share it with someone you know who's struggling right now. Thank you so much for watching guys, I really appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.